Hi, I'd like to welcome Garry Kasparov, and we are very pleased that you are taking part on this discussion as part of the Global Chess Festival. So we're going to have about a half an hour discussion to talk about your life and journey of success. I remember the first time we met, it was 1988 in Thessaloniki at the Olympiad. And of course, it was very memorable for me for many different reasons. First of all, because we won the gold medal. But of course, partly the great memories is connected to you, as one of the special moments for me was when I heard that you were standing behind my back watching one of my games, which I won. And the other one, of course, when actually we had a walk after round 10, I think, with the family and you, and we were having a discussion. So that was kind of very unique and special. And it was interesting. There is a little report was recorded by a Hungarian reporter after we won the Olympiad. And I don't know if you've seen this report where the reporter asked you what do you think about my play and what kind of potentials do I have? And instantly you said that, of course, she's going to be a world champion. And when the reporter asked you whether do you see yourself playing against Judith one day, you said, well, I don't think so. There is nothing against Judith, but in principle, you don't think that women are able to go on the highest level. But then you corrected yourself, of course, almost impossible. And then years later, we finally got the first game against each other and then many more. So the first question would be very straight, that how do you see women in chess and their potentials generally in the chess world?
Thank you very much, Judith, for reminding me of these great moments in Thessaloniki. That was one of my best chess Olympiads also. My memory is not, as bad as you could expect from my age, but there's no chance I can recollect which game I was watching because you won all the games. Unless I'm wrong, I think you won all the games, yes, on the tournament.
I made one draw actually.
You made one draw. Okay, that's I wasn't sure, but it was an exceptional result, and I have to admit that it was very impressive. It's not just playing well. I mean, we saw many great female players, but I didn't have to be sort of a great expert in the game of chess to recognize that you were different, because the energy and the concentration that definitely separated you from the rest of the field. Now, I was quite skeptical about females players ever becoming world champion. By the way, I was right. So there's no female player is number one on the rating list. At one point, I even said I would rather concede to a computer than to a female player. Unfortunately, I was right. I guess I would rather do it the opposite way. But that's this prediction went well. But speaking about the general level of women chess. No doubt, it made a tremendous progress, because going back to the 60s, I think in the 60s, when Bobby Fischer was boasting that he could give an extra piece to any female player and still beat them, I don't think that, even Magnus today would be comfortable giving a pawn to a really strong female player. Probably a pawn, yes, but still, it's maybe due to his, overconfidence. But clearly, we saw the gap that closed quite dramatically, but there's still a gap. I mean, statistically, when you look at top 100 players, I'm not sure who you find technically makes it, but I think she's the only one who could be on the top 100 by rating today. Am I correct?
But yeah, I think so. But what do you think? What is the reason for that women are not excelling?
By the way, that puts you in a totally different, it's a different category, because you are an exception, absolute exception. And I remember, when I played you and was convincingly beaten in Moscow at this Russia versus the world rapid match. And the people asked me, how did that feel of losing to a female player? I said, I didn't lose to a female player. I lost to number 15 in the world, or whatever your number was at the time, one of the best players. So, I mean, I always, since our first game, which was obviously, a bit tight because, you were really young and and it was extra pressure. I remember, there's the similar feelings when I played Maja Čeburdanidze in 1980 in Baku. But obviously, the difference in strengths was quite formidable between what I could expect from Maja in 1980 and from you in 1994. Ever since, I view you as just, one of my colleagues, and I just didn't make any difference because it was not about gender; it was about strengths, and your strengths was, such that you could beat any player, as you proved, at the highest level. And I'm not here just to analyze, the reasons. What we know that is no one came even close to repeat your accomplishments. And looking at the current field, I would be very surprised in the next few years we'll see another Judith Polgar rising to the top of the world chess. Whether it's a part, of some kind of, psychological restrictions because it's more difficult to concentrate, I don't know. The last thing I want is just to be harshly criticized at the era of political correctness of saying something that people don't like. I rather stick on the ground of facts, and facts are that right now we don't see any female player coming even close to your strength.
Well, my theory is that one of the problem with girls is that the parents and coaches are not having the same expectations at the very early ages from boys. Do you share this view, or you have something else?
Look, naturally, when we look at any phenomenon like that's the one we're discussing now, it's you should always look at the societal challenges because we're talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of years of very different arrangements for women. And you can hardly expect to compensate for hundreds of years of all forms of suppression, by 50 years of emancipation. So it definitely takes time. And the attitude towards girls and female players is also quite different especially at early age, where girls, as you said, not the same kind of expectations. But still, at the same time, it's not just coaches, but it's also you look at the parents and when you when you glance at the under 8, under 10, under 12, events, you see probably 40-60 proportion, not exactly equal, but you have many girls. And with age, you can see the number is sharply declining. So there's less and less girls are staying in the field. And it could clearly be seen in the United States where they have the joint competitions. And so you can see that this is with age, the less and less female players are just around. And again, it takes time because it was every, we see that the average level is growing, but still, it's with all the improvements, I'm not expecting anyone like you to appear anytime soon.
Okay, that we'll see.